Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are in good health. I, Swati Pandit, student of Mechanical Engineering, feel immensely honored to extend to you a very warm welcome on behalf of Mechanical Engineering Department, who has clubbed all of us for the HR Conclave 2021 on future opportunities in employment. I welcome Honorable Registrar Sir, Dr. Sunil Garg Sir, respected Chairman of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Professor Rajkumar Sir, faculty members, and participants. Today we have with us our expert speakers, Ms. Pooja Kochar, ex-HR Siemens Healthcare Private Limited, Mr. Rahul Jain, DGM, HR Uflix Limited, Mr. Himanshu Miglani, HR Scots Limited. Then we have Ms. KM Priya, HR Mangalam Electricals, and last but not the least, we have Ms. Kritika, HR Toyota Industries, Engine India Private Limited. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time to join us today. We are grateful to all of those who accepted our invitation to be a part of this elite event. It's our holy tradition to worship our goddess Saraswati before any important event. So let's dedicate a prayer to Ma Saraswati.
Kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada shubham kurutvang kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada shatrubuddhi vinashaya दीपज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं
With the blessing of Lord Saraswati, now I would like to take the opportunity to welcome everyone to this HR Enclave. I, Sachin Advaria, the student of Mechanical Engineering Department, welcome you again. To begin with, I would like to call upon Professor Vasudev Manotra, the program convener of this HR Enclave. He is working as a professor in our mechanical engineering, has more than 20-year experience in research and teaching. He has published more than 100 research papers in different reputed international journals, and also been selected for the Bharat Ratna Gold Medal Award by Global Economic Progress and Research Association in 2019. Now I request Professor Manotra sir to brief the event and welcome our chief guest. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Sachin. Hello, I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Your voice is clear and very sharp.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thanks to respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dinesh Kumar ji, Professor Rajkumar ji, Chairman Mechanical Engineering, for giving me the opportunity to organize this HR Conclave 2021. I hope everyone is in good health. Before we get started, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who help us make this event come together to become a success. We are today joined by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dinesh Kumar ji, Chief Guest of the day, Chairperson Department of Mechanical Engineering, Professor Rajkumar ji, Dr. Sunil Kumar Garg ji, Worthy Registrar of the J.C. Bose University of Science and Technology, and our expert speakers, Ms. Pooja Kochar, Officer Civils and Healthcare, Rahul Jain, DGM HR Resources Reflex, Ms. Kritika KR Officer, HR Toyota Industries Engine Private Limited, and Ms. KM Priya, HR Mangalam Electronics, and Shri Himanshu Miglani, HR Escorts Limited, staff members and the students. Thank you so much for joining us today. I welcome you all. The ultimate goal of such conclave is to get the students, industry and market ready. Interactions at HR Conclave helps build up their confidence and ensure that they are aware of current trends and sentiments of the industry. Now, I would like to request Registrar Sir to bless us with some few words of wisdom. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Vasudev Malhotra. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. Today, Department of Mechanical Engineering of the university is going to organize HR conclave, which will be focusing not only need of corporates, but strengthening the campus placement, helping the student to get ready themselves according to the need of corporates, and preparing themselves amid of this pandemic. As you know, within last 1.5 years, we are going through this COVID pandemic, which is last year and this current session also, we are facing the problem, and most of the work are done in online mode, whether it is examination, whether it is your placement activities, or whether it is in most of the cases training also. Students are doing it in an online mode. So in this current scenario, it becomes important. The end result of this is that you are getting a placement, and the corporates, they have also changed their functioning in the online mode. So basic aim of this HR conclave is to make familiar with the requirement of the corporates, and so that you can be placed well in the organization, different organization. Today we are having, as mentioned by Professor Vasudev, Ms. Pooja Kochar, Mr. Rahul Jain, Mr. Himanshu Miglani, and KM Priyaji, Ms. Kartika KR. So I welcome all these 5 expert speakers in our university, and I hope that everyone will be getting benefited from this expert speakers talk. And I congratulate the Department of Mechanical Engineering, particularly their head, Dr. Rajkumar ji, for organizing this event at this particular moment. Wishing you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your word of wisdom. It will be great pleasure for us to listen again in our future event. Now,
thank you, Sajid. Now I would like to request our chairman, sir, Professor Rajkumar ji, to bless us with some few words of wisdom. Why is this not coming, sir? Hello, sir. Why is आपकी?
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
So our honorable Vice Chancellor.
बाबा चाबी देना. वर्क की चाबी.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So good morning to our esteemed experts, our honorable registrar sir, who blessed us there by saying some words to us, and honorable Vice Chancellor was also supposed to be here, but due to his busy schedule, he could not spare the time, but he has definitely passed his blessing to us to convey this program. So good morning to all of you. And well, really, it gives me an immense pleasure to be here. As all of you know that it is a very difficult time. And amid of this pandemic, still we are in the touch with our students, and we are doing our conversation with each other, with our students. Definitely, we are facing the many problems, right? Because as we know that online is the online and cannot have the experience as that of the offline mode. As of my understanding, this definitely has an impact on the learning output and the performance of the students as well. Because have you been with us in a physical mode, definitely we could have served in a different way, and definitely we have nourished to you all in a better way to all of you. Now, because this is the pandemic and the students are away from us, and the students have to do the extra efforts to overcome the impacts of this pandemic. Definitely, they have to learn extra more and more along with their curriculum studies. As we know that there is a कहावत in Hindi, पढ़ तो लिया लेकिन गुना नहीं. No doubt that in this pandemic we are having the studies. We will definitely, you will get the degree at the end of your four-year degree course. But definitely what happens, because we are not in the touch with each other, so definitely there is something will be lacked there, that we would not be able to convey all the things to you. So this thing has been reflected in your placement as well. And our authorities, they have really shown their anxiety regarding their placement. No doubt the placement is very good to us, but still, whatever the expectation is there, so we are still lagging somewhat expectation, and that the faculty, students, and the TPO, they are doing their well. So to cover this and to nourish the students more, so we have organized this conclave, where the theme of this conclave is to see what is the need of the corporates, that how the campus placement can be strengthened, helping the students to get ready for according to the need of the corporates and preparing themselves amid of this pandemic. So definitely these experts, we have invited the experts, and these experts definitely would look after all these, and they will convey to the message what is the need and how can you prepare. So I would request to all the students to learn and attend this program attentively and see what is the need of the corporate and how they can, mold themselves according to this need. So with these words, I would like to thanks to all the students, faculty, and our organizers, and thanks to our registrar and the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who has given this moral support to us to conduct this program. So thank you, Dr. Vasudev Malhotra. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm, kind, and inspiring words. Moving on towards our first lecture of the session, we have Ms. Pooja Kochar. She is an ex-HR, Siemens Healthcare Private Limited. She has done her bachelor's in commerce from Delhi University and is a master of business management. She also has a total work experience of more than 10 years. It will be my honor to invite Ms. Pooja Kochar, ma'am, to present her visionary words in this speech. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for introducing me. It's my pleasure to be part of this conclave. It is for the second time I've been the speaker here, and I have a very old birth connect with YMCA. I've been born and brought up in Faridabad. I know YMCA has been renamed, but let me tell you, Faridabad was only popular for two things. One was industry, another was YMCA. So when I was growing up, my mother always used to tell me, Pooja, agar padhai achhi karoge, you will get admission in YMCA. That was one thing which I have been hearing right from my childhood, every class. So it was her dream that I should get admission into YMCA. The only thing which was there in everybody's mind was the people who are intelligent, who really want to do good in Faridabad, they should get into somehow YMCA. Unfortunately, I was not a science student. I was not having that band of mind, so I could not get in YMCA. I did my HR and went through various spheres of corporate life, but something which you dream or which you talk about sometime in life, God always hears it. And I think virtually I would get in touch with you all. So thank you so much for giving me a platform. Maybe my mother would be happy that at least virtually I got in touch with you. After having said that, today my topic is campus to corporate. You must be wondering, we have not even got a job. An HR should talk about how should we be interviewed, how should we prepare for the interviews, how should we apply for the job, how should we, basically prepare first to get an entry. And ma'am is talking about the very second letter, which is campus to corporate. Well, students, why I'm sharing this, because I know after going to YMCA, you will definitely get a job. It has got a brand name, and you must all be very intelligent to get admission in this college. I'm very sure with my, at least whatever I heard as a child. But after getting a job, it is very important that you package yourself well, you sell yourself well. We are selling everywhere. Everybody is selling themselves. Somebody is selling in corporate, somebody is selling to themselves to the parents, somebody is selling to the girlfriend. Very important that you form a right impression, you package yourself, you sell yourself well. And for that, it is really important to know what are the do's and don'ts in the corporate. corporate life is very different from the campus life. I've worked for 18 years. I have my own success stories. I have my failures also. Some people form a right impression from the day one. There are others who form an impression at a later stage after learning very hard, after doing a lot of mistakes in their life, in the corporate life. You don't get a second chance. So what is the objective of this particular presentation or maybe talk is that you form a right impression from the day one in the corporate, that you package yourself well, you sell yourself well. If anything you could learn from my experience, I'm going to share a lot of live examples which happened with me, which happened with my colleagues, which may help you in the longer run in the practical life of corporates. So here I am. All of us look forward to our first job in our life. I too. We eagerly await the completion of a formal education in a school, college, to enter the corporate life. We want to stand on our own feet and live out our dreams in life. While the journey is indeed exciting, we have to prepare ourselves to be successful in this phase of our life. What are the changes which one has to encounter when you leave the college premises and enter the corporate world? These are the few pointers, students. First of all, you have to really forget your P degree at the compound wall of the corporate. While your P degree may help you to enter the corporate, but it will not make any impact after you are there. What will make a difference is your performance and the value you bring to the table. That's very, very important point. I might be, sounding a little bookish, but let me share with you an example. What is very important is to understand what our stakeholder wants, what our stakeholder expect. Most of the time, we are doing what we want, what we feel that what will make the other person happy. Whether it is in family life, whether it is with your girlfriend even. You know, many times what we do is just, let me share with you a very simple example. A girlfriend may expect you to listen to listen to her problems. But what you must be doing in return is you may not be having a time, but whatever time you have, you must be sharing your own problems and maybe your success stories and, trying to boost yourself. That's not what she's expecting. She could be expecting something else. She could be expecting your time. She could be expecting you to hear her problems. And even corporate, we do the same thing a lot of times. We always try to, make our boss happy, our manager happy, our department head happy, trying to prove ourselves every time that, yes, we are a hero, we know a lot of things, but that doesn't matter. You really, once you join, you have to be very patient and understand what your manager or your department head or under whom, whatever you have been put, what is he expecting? He may be expecting you to ease down the burden of a department initially when you join. Do something administrative task probably, which may irritate you, but trust me, he's expecting something initially. And if you give him 100% if you give him what he's expecting out of you, you will get later on whatever you want in life. He may expect you to go to various departments, coordinate with various departments, make relationship with various departments, go to R&D, go to purchase, go to finance, understand and help your department in turn. So first of all, please try to understand what value your manager, your stakeholder, your department head want you to deliver. Understand those expectations and deliver them, even if you don't want to initially, because you have to build relationship. And trust me, in every relationship, whether it is a marriage life, it's a corporate life, you have to first give before you expect. A very common known funda, but we usually forget it when we join. Second is unlearn, learn, and relearn. It is very, very important. Unlike the academic world, the corporate space changes very fast. We need to learn, to unlearn, learn, and relearn at a very hectic pace, not only to survive, but to thrive in the corporate world. I'll give you one very simple example. Of course, a lot of my examples will come from Siemens, from Asia Brown Boveri, from Gulbranson Chemical, from EI DuPont, India, where I've worked. Now, with this company called Siemens, they were always, healthcare was always on the procurement of lab equipment. The logistic department, which play a very important role, they always used to buy this lab equipment and sell. That's all what they knew. And that's what all the sales people knew. Now here came the pandemic. but the lab equipment were no more in demand. What was in demand was testing kits. Siemens changed its healthcare, changed its line in a very short span of time. What they did was they started manufacturing the testing kits in Baroda. They started using this Baroda manufacturing unit for manufacturing of these kits. Now, all of a sudden, the logistics department and the sales people who since years and years, since 10, 15, 20 years, because Siemens is known for, people spending their entire life tenure in Siemens. People do not change the organization. They who have only learned this, they have to relearn, unlearn, and train themselves to buy testing kit, to sell testing kits. People who were obstinate, who could not change themselves, they perished, they lost their job even. And the people who could adjust, adapt, and were flexible and could unlearn in a very short span of time, these were the people who were heroes of the company. So learn this, it is very important to thrive in the corporate world, to change yourself at a very hectic pace. If you can do it, you will be successful. Third, excel. Well, excellence is a journey and it is never ending in a corporate world. You have to be the best in whatever you do, and then nobody can ignore you. You have to give your 100% in whatever you do, even if you don't like initially what you're doing. Because remember, you are packaging yourself, you're forming your impression which will last throughout life. The tenure you are going to spend with the corporate, and you don't get a second chance in corporate. Kindly remember, this world is much more competitive than the academic world you are into. And you may not always get a second chance. I'll just give you my example, although it's a failure story of mine, but probably it may help you. I was into a factory hiring. Head to top to toe, I was completely occupied with it. And here comes my global head. Global head means Siemens worldwide HR head. He comes here to deliver a lecture. Now, he was supposed to speak on a topic called Ayushman Bharat. We were all given an opportunity to prepare a presentation which he can go through. And of course, he doesn't have time, so he just needs half an hour to prepare or 1 hour to prepare. I was also given the task. What I did instead, I was so busy with my factory hiring that I said, I really don't have time. I will not be able to prepare. The other colleague of mine, she prepared, she left it. She left the delivery for 1 day. She prepared on Ayushman Bharat and she came out with a wonderful presentation. What impression and impact which she made with that 100% very good presentation was in her getting a global role with the global HR head. So all I'm trying to say is, in an organization, you don't get a second chance. If you get a chance, don't leave it for the sake of certain things which may not be important currently in the mind of your boss or your department head. Next, ambition. Dream big, and you will be able to realize your dream someday. It may not happen in the time frame you have set for yourself, but if you do not give up, it will definitely materialize. Let me share another success story of one of the HR head. Of course, I'm not going to take his name, but all I can tell you is Siemens had a lot of entities, and this guy whom I'm talking about is one of the head of an entity. This person joined from ABB to Siemens. He joined as a business head. He didn't do well as a business head at all because people are quite old timers and outsiders are not accepted easily. There were a lot of politics. He didn't give up. There was a training head opportunity, although he's a good speaker, but he never intended to become a training head. He picked up this opportunity, he became a training head. But his eyes were always on the HR head of a company, which was not easy to get once you have spoiled your reputation as a BU head. He was always looking for an opportunity, what the stakeholder, what the company wants from this organization. And there came an opportunity. This organization was completely hierarchy driven, with M0, M1, M2, M3, M4, so many grades. People working with so many 15, 20 years of experience. All were managers, but nobody wanted to work. Now came the new era, where the hierarchy doesn't matter. Company wanted to scrap these grade levels. They wanted to be very simple in terms of position levels. All they wanted was that, they wanted to bring all the positions into few category of roles, and those roles which had a high impact on the organization, which has high impact on the profitability of the organizations, were given a certain grade and title, big fat titles and grades, which may also, reduce your position level in the organization. So here were the people who were 10 and 20, 30 years old, who could be VP, who could be, DGM, but these all designation was crap. They were supposed to be brought down as per their level. Their titles were supposed to be brought down because their roles may not be relevant in today's current context. Their role may not have any impact on the organization. Their role may not have any impact on the profitability of an organization. You can yourself understand and visualize how difficult this scenario is in an organization to get a buy-in from such seniors, where you're asking them to reduce your title and designation and grade, which may not value anything, to the organization, but it values to them for the outside world. How difficult it is. There were all chances of getting a high level of attrition. This person took a challenge. He took series of trainings. He got them buy-in this decision. And here was a cultural drift in the organization where people, seniors, VP, GM, DGM, so fat, big titles in the world, now they had no value for them and they were willing to be rated. And this opportunity, when he took it and he delivered it, there comes an entity which was separated, which was healthcare, and he was made a head of an HR. So from a dream, when he joined as a training manager, trust me, he didn't even know the difference between the competency and competent. He read even that basics. And today, since he didn't give up a dream, he had an ambition, he had a dream to become the corporate Siemens head, HR head of the location after 20, 30 years, which every HR person wants to be after 20 years. He got that opportunity. So you need to have that patience. If you have an ambition, you will fulfill, but have patience to students. The next is morals. Today, we do not give too much importance to morals in our life. We feel कि कुछ आगे बढ़ना है, life में आगे जाना है, morals की क्या value है, but ऐसा नहीं है. It is always a dilemma in your mind, that if ethics have any value in the corporate life, we do question ourselves. You must have seen the millionaires making money the wrong way. You may be tempted to take the shortcuts and realize your dreams. But just remember to listen to your conscience every single time, and you will not go wrong. It is better to be happy and hold your head high, build relationship within the organization, have your good reputation, rather than doing or adapting shortcuts to make short-term image. Many of us try to bring down our own friends, our own colleagues who are of our own age, try to take somebody else's credit, try to show that, my fellow colleague is not doing well, but I am more competitive than him. Sometimes even going to the level that, trying to criticize our own manager, trying to show other people that my manager is taking credit of my entire work. Doing all these shortcuts will not take you anywhere. You may make a reputation image in a short term, but you're packaging yourself and selling yourself in a wrong way in a long term. Remember, the image built in one corporate even gets you that same image in another corporate, because the corporate world is very small. So do not ever adopt shortcuts to reach high in the life, and try to build good relationship within the organization. Models are important. The manager may take your credit once, twice, thrice, but the fourth time he's a human being. He will always give you the credit somewhere or other. So try to relate and build the network or relationship. Stand alone. Well, it is natural for you to compare yourself with others working with you. You may wonder why you get, paid less as compared to someone else working in the same department. You always feel, yeah, usko zyada mil raha hai, mujhe kam mil raha hai. You may think the other person is less qualified or has an irrelevant experience. It is not worth comparing yourself with anybody or feeling bad about it. हाथ की सारी उंगलियां कभी बराबर नहीं होती, अंगूठे का सामने का पिस्ता किसी के भी फिंगरप्रिंट सेम नहीं होते. So everybody is unique. Just wait for your chance. You need to learn to be like the pole star, comparing yourself with yourself, shining so brightly so that nobody on earth can miss your sight. So please do not compare. Remember the 5 C's of life to be successful in corporate. 1, do not crib. रोंदू के साथ कोई नहीं रहना चाहता. Do not complain except what the situation is. Do not criticize. Learn to compliment people. Do not condemn. These 5 C's will really help you to be successful. Also, to be successful, there are 5 P's which are very important. Anywhere, any organization you reach, you are selling one product to another in form of service, in terms of anything. You should know your product well. You should know the price well. You know how competitive you are from the market. You should know the performance. This is very important. And last, पीछे पड़ जाओ. पीछे पड़ जाओ is what I say in my language is जब तक काम नहीं होता पीछे पड़ना है और उसको करके दिखाना है. And last is paripona. What I mean is paripona is when you really receive the mentor or the seniors, respect them. Trust this really works out in every organization, especially in the context of Indian environment. So remember children, complaint, cribbing, criticizing, condemning. And if you know how to complement good things, you will really successful in corporate world. Product, price, performance, piche par jao, pani pona, these are my concepts, but this has really helped me. Next is your commitment. Very important. One may get away by submitting your assignments very late in the college and once in a while. However, in the organization context, living up to your commitment is the key to success. Your relative value is always determined by your personal credibility. Every time you're packaging and selling yourself, you may fail the chance in your academics, not submitting a project in time. But you're killing yourself if you give a commitment that boss, I'm going to deliver in 4 days and it takes 7 days or 8 days to deliver. Even if you deliver high quality, you have lost your image in the mind of other person. It is always better to, under promise and over perform rather than vice versa. Punctuality. Very important. Nobody is going to tell you in corporate, be on time, be on meetings. Aap time pe aaye nahi hai, maybe nobody is going to tell you, but people are going to make form an image. Self-discipline is expected in corporate life. Nobody will remind you of the time, as I told you. You set your standards by being on the time, all the time. Your reputation is determined by your punctuality. It is good to remember that your discipline is displayed when nobody is watching you. जब हमें सब देखते हैं हम सब सही करते हैं, लेकिन हमें जब कोई नहीं देख रहा हम तब सही कर रहे हैं, हम अपनी पर्सनल क्रेडिबिलिटी बना रहे हैं. So that's very important to be on time. Mobility. It is in today's globalized business environment, one needs to be truly global and mobile to be successful. We should be willing to pack our bags and go anywhere in the world to launch a global career in an organization. People who are willing to travel, they are successful. I'll share with you one example. It's my failure, but I would like to share, if anything, you can learn from it. I always wanted to go abroad. I wanted to go to Canada. That's my dream place. Big from a Sikh community. I wanted a job in Siemens in Canada. And I always used to apply any Canada job opportunity used to come. Pooja was the first one to apply and everybody knew about it. One day my boss called me. He told me, Pooja, there's an opportunity in Bangalore. Are you willing to go? I said, no. Okay. Next time he called me, he said, are you willing to go to Mumbai? I said, no. My family is there. I can't. He said, then the third line which he said, but you're willing to go to Canada with family. I just became hesitant. I became mum. I'd already spent 9 to 10 years in Siemens, and I thought, yes, now I'm there ready to move to globally. But that was not in the mind of an organization. When organization needed me in Bangalore and Mumbai, I didn't move. But I wanted them to relocate me to Canada when I wanted because the job was there. So that doesn't happen there like this. You have to be ready. If I would have been ready to move to Canada, Bangalore, Mumbai, when the organization needed me, probably I would have been also moved to Canada when I wanted. So with this simple example, all I'm trying to say is do what the organization expects out of you. Ready to move with your bags anywhere, especially when you're unmarried and you don't have a married life. Trust me, it's going to help you like anything in longer run. These are the people who get a global role. In the future, they get whatever they want. But initially, they might have to sacrifice as per the organization need and not as per your need. We all wanted to be near our hometown. We all wanted to be at a comfortable, cozy metro place where we can enjoy. But if you sacrifice these initial few years, in longer run, you will have a place which you want. Probably it could be a global place. Teamwork. Unlike the college dia, where one could get away with the individual excellence, teamwork is the key to success in any organization. One needs to learn to work in a team and collaborate and cooperate to leverage on the strength of each other team member. What I meant is, let me tell you the today's latest scenario of corporates. We hear the promotions, ladders, we hear about performance management system. But trust me, Siemens and many global organizations have done away with PMS. There is no performance management system in today's scenario. There are no promotions happening, like you go from a one grade to another VP, GM. No, the promotion levels have been reduced. The performance management has been removed. Why? Because they want to encourage teamwork. Because what we used to do, we used to be like, people used to work like as a loner who were just interested in their individual achievement. But because of that, the department was not going anywhere. The organization was nowhere going. We don't have to work as a loner. We have to work as a teamwork. The promotions and the PMS system have been removed just to bring up the constant dialogue, just to bring up the teamwork. Today, the performance has been judged between manager and the employee. There's a constant dialogue what they're happening. We record our day-to-day performance. We constantly, regularly, weekly talk to our manager. We record, he gives us the remarks on a performance. That old PMS system of grading the people, of judging, क्योंकि हम regular time के अंदर आप घर में जब रोटी बनाते हो ये नहीं कहता आपने अच्छी आज बीवी ने रोटी बनाई आज ज़्यादा गरीब बुरी रोटी बनाई. Why all these things have been removed? It's a very simple example, but all I'm trying to say is that teamwork is very, very important. Be very careful. Today, organization contest, if you're working as an individual, if you're working as a loner, nobody is going to like you. Be very careful with the words you use. Be very careful when you criticize your team member, when you criticize your manager. You have to be diplomatic telling your views, but nowhere show that you are selfish and you are an individual loner. All the parties probably in the country also have failed because they always talk about their own party, their own censor, but nobody about the country. And dwelling upon this point of a teamwork, the reason is because many of time when we join an organization, we always talk about I, and I is the most selfish word in the world, which will bring you nowhere. So Lon, this was the few things which I wanted to tell you. Let me reiterate upon the points: teamwork, mobility, punctuality, commitment, standalone, morale, ambition, excel, unlearn, learn, and relearn, and forgetting your pedigree when you enter the corporate world and delivering what your stakeholders want. Now let's look at the emotions and feelings which we all must have gone through. We may experience one or another day when we enter the corporate. We all feel anxiety. How do we deal with these feelings? This is one very short topic which I'm going to take just 3-4 minutes. And how do you handle these emotions once you get a corporate life? We all feel, first of all, very happy, very excited that we got a first job. The enthusiasm and joy has to be sustained. It should not go away because you have, not got what you wanted. And it should be preserved for the right time. We may not always get what we want, but by sheer hard work and determination, we can lay our own career path in the organization. You may feel the fear. The lurking fear of not being good enough will confront us. Our ability to be humble, to be grounded, and willing to unlearn, learn, and relearn will get over our fear. Remember to be humble, remember to be authentic, remember to be grounded. We all are human beings, and we all like such people who are humble, who are grounded, who are willing to learn their basics. Please stick to them. Unhappiness. You may face an unhappiness once you join a corporate world because you do not get the location of your choice. It may make you unhappy. But the ability to adapt and to make the best use of every opportunity will help you excel. Anxiety. Everything appears new and unknown. How to ask, whom to ask is a constant question in your mind. Simply asking and being innocent and being authentic will help you finding your way. We all like children. Why do we? Because they're honest, they're being innocent, they're being authentic. These things do help you out. Everybody wants to help such people. Intimidating. The induction program in the initial days may be intimidating and you may feel yourself lost in the big organization. But kindly remember, all of us have joined someday or today, and today it is your turn. There's nothing to worry when you join the organization. Everything will come and will pass by. To wait for the right time. Nervousness. The fear of the unknown and the realization that the time will run out very fast will make you restless. As long as you realize that learning is a lifelong journey, please remember that everyone in the organization is keen to help you. You have to just put your honest side of your side. If you don't know things, I'll say that I don't know. Be honest, be authentic, be grounded, be humble. These will always help you. Your seniors are till now, and that is what your vice chancellor, your bosses, your teachers, your lecturers, they all are successful because of these qualities which they've inherited from their parents and probably which our generation has inherited. Curiosity. You are not sure when to speak, when to listen. You are curious when to ask questions, whom to ask. There is no right or wrong answers. As long as you are authentic, you need not worry about anything or anybody in the organization. But be sure when to speak, when to listen, when to ask questions, whom to ask questions. These are the 4 things which are very, very important, and these are called your emotional intelligence. And this makes people very intelligent people also sometimes failure, and some people who are not intelligent, but they're hardworking, but they're very emotional, intelligent, and they understand the emotion of other person, and then they speak at a right time. They know when to shut up, when not to speak, and when to listen, when to say. These are the people who are most successful in the organization sometimes. Well, now when you have joined the organization, there are certain things which you look forward to. It could be your first salary. The thrill of getting your first salary in life is unbelievable. Your own office desk when you enter. When you reach the office on the first day and get your own desk to sit, it's a matter of pride. Your own corporate credit card will make you that you have a right somewhere in life. Your new colleagues, your new friends, make as much as possible, especially from interdepartment, other departments. If you have a friend in a purchase, you have a friend in finance, you have a friend in R&D, you have a friend everywhere, trust me, your work will go like this, rather than just being a loner in your own department. Use this initial days to network and build relationships, students. Visiting card with, of course, will make you feel respect and credibility. These are the things which you get from your corporate life. You get independence. As we stand on our feet, we become self-reliant. All in all, moving from campus to corporate is like transforming from a bachelorhood to a married life. Unlike your spouse in a married life, you will have colleagues in the organization. It is the ability to adapt and learn from them that will make you successful. So children and students, you are still children for me, but anyway, 4 C's, again, you are there to package and yourself to sell yourself in every stage in corporate life, right from the joining till the last. Do not package or sell yourself in a wrong way, which you do not intend to, but the other person gets that impression. And 5 C's, please remember, do not complain, do not compare, do not crib, do not criticize, learn to compliment good things about other people, whether it is your friend, your colleague, your manager, and you will win hearts. 5 P's, as I talked about, package yourself well, know about the product in and out of your company, even though if it is not your department. Know the price comparisons, know the performance, know the productivity. Paripona, which I mean is giving a respect to your manager, your senior, or your mentors from whom you are going to love. And Piche Parjana means till you don't adapt, till you do not get those things in your life, whatever your target is, how matter unbelievable is, unattainable it is, Piche Parjana till you do not attain. And trust me, you will be all rocking on and ready to take your corporate life after doing the mechanical engineering. Thank you so much for listening out to me, and I'll leave it to the students, to the honorable chief members and the other guest members to please share their views and their experience about their corporate life, what made them successful, what made them unsuccessful, and of course, you are ready to criticize my experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing deep knowledge about corporate with us. Your session was full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge.
Thank you so much. Any question if anybody has, or if the anyone auditor member would like to criticize my point or share their experience, they're most welcome. I'm still a long way to learn. So open to all of you.
I request the participants, if you have any question, you can please unmute yourself and ask.
Pooja ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, actually Rahul is asking that job is everything. So can you reply to his question, ma'am?
Job is available. Did you ask me?
No. Actually, Rahul is asking that, ma'am, job is everything.
No, job.
He is asking.
No, job is not everything. And I'm very happy that you asked your question. People who are successful in life, they are successful in all spheres of life. Your job starts from 9 and it ends till 6 o'clock. After that, you are all free to do everything of your own. Enjoy your hobby, have your work-life balance, because that makes a person complete and happy. And it is very important to be happy. But for those 8 and 9 hours which where you are in a corporate, please understand that you may not be originally of your own. You are there to sell yourself. You're there to market yourself. You're there to make a career. So in those 9 years, please make an impact.
Thank you so much, ma'am. There's one more question in chat box. I will speak for you. In my last interview, HR is asked, "Sir, are you ready to sign bond for 5 years with us?" I was confused to answer this question. What should be the best answer for this?
See, honestly speaking, I'm not asking you to cheat you, but these bonds are basically to stick you to the organization. And signing a bond, they will ask you either to sign the bond and, basically, if you leave the organization, there's a condition attached to these bonds. So you have to be very careful about what are these conditions in the bond. So before signing any bond, there's nothing wrong in signing the bond, because see, organization is investing heavily in your training. Organization is investing heavily, probably sending you abroad probably for training. And what happens is by the time the children get trained, they're ready to leave the organization, go to other organization. And how painful it is for an organization. Imagine a child has been brought up 7-8 years and all of a sudden he says that I want to leave you, my parents, even before he could do anything. So that same pain to an organization. So please understand from an organization perspective also, there's nothing wrong in signing the bond, but you need to understand the conditions of bond. They will always attach a condition that if you leave an organization, you might have to pay this much amount to an organization, and this amount will never compensate the training cost. This will be a dandat for you so that you don't leave an organization. And if by any chance, if you have to leave an organization because of X, Y, Z reason, you have to pay that amount. Mostly what children do is when they join another organization, they make that another organization pay that particular bond amount, which could be X, Y, Z. So they do not suffer. But honestly speaking, if you really think from on the principle ground, it is right for an organization to get a bond signed if they're investing heavily in your training, they're sending you abroad, they're giving a lot of things to you. But be only careful about the conditions and the amount. If the amount is too exorbitant, which is not, no, they cannot ask you to pay 50 lakh or 60 lakh. They can never recover the training cost from you. But if the amount is reasonable, maybe 2 lakh, 1.5 lakh, with the new organization, if you leave this current organization, if you join the new organization, they're usually willing to pay this amount to take you early on the board. So it is fine. There's nothing wrong in signing the bond. I hope it answered your question.
Yeah, hopefully you have cleared all the points, ma'am. One more question, ma'am. Ma'am, during the technical interview sessions, some question the HR has asked that you really don't know the answer to how to handle that the awkward situation when you don't know the answer.
See, honestly, as I told you, as far as you're honest, you're authentic, it pays you back. I'm not saying that just blankly say no, but anything relating to it, just admit it in the very first place. You have studied it, probably it's not coming to my mind, ma'am, but I remember this was a certain thing, but I seriously need a little clue to answer the question. Be honest, be authentic. Don't try to, fool the other person, because these are very basics, but everybody like honesty, because they know that you are an honest person and your honesty will remain in the organization in the longer run. That's how to handle that. I hope it helps you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
One more question, ma'am, from my side, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Actually, ma'am, in one of the interviews, the HR asked to me that what you want to do that you don't want to do. Then what to answer, ma'am? I was confused at that time.
Dear, you have to basically see what is that basically they want to know. Every part of the job has certain things which you will like it, and there's certain things which you do not like it. See, nobody likes to take printout, do typing work, do admin work, do calling, do coordination. Every role, every job has a mundane work, and every job has an uninteresting work. So what they're trying to please understand what is the psychology behind answering the question. Probably they want to really ask that, you know, if this guy is not flexible or not adaptable, 1 month or 3 months he may do an administrative or typing, and then he may say, no, I don't want to do this job. Then you know, that's not possible in the corporate, no? There are certain things which are interesting, there are certain things which are not interesting. So you have to answer the question diplomatically. You will say like this, yes, so whatever, maybe you have to tell there are certain things, of course, of every part of life which we enjoy. There are certain things which I do not enjoy. Well, but the certain things which I even do not enjoy, I will give 100% to it. These are the things probably, of course, which I do not enjoy and which nobody enjoys. But trust me, I will give my 100% to it so that I get those things in to deliver, which I really enjoy performing it. So always understand, if somebody is asking the question, do not be, you know, in haste in answering the question. First, understand what is the stakeholder intention of asking that question behind. You get that motive right and you will answer the question right. I hope you got it, the answer.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.